Chess in India is growing at a rapid pace, and we all are aware about it. However, there are some places which are growing rapidly than others. For example, Tamil Nadu produces GMs at an alarming speed. Maharashtra has a lot of grandmasters. West Bengal, even Telangana has a lot of now strong players coming out of it. There are certain places in India which are not creating GMs, creating title players. One such place is Northeast India, and till a couple of years ago, it did not have even a single titled player. Shahil Dey, the youngster from Assam, he became the first title player from Northeast India. And in order to make this situation better, in order to empower the players of Northeast India, one kind individual has come forward. His name is Mrityunjay Jalan. He is the owner of Jalan Industries. They are into tea making. And with his foundation, Jalan Foundation, Murleidhor Jalan Foundation, he sponsored two young kids. He supported two young kids, Shahil Dey, to 5 lakh rupees. He gave Shahil and 2.5 lakh rupees of support to Mayank Chakraborty. Both of them very talented youngsters from Northeast India. And Shahil Dey, who became an IM, the first IM of Northeast India, achieved his first GM norm recently at the Cattolica GM, and it gives us immense pleasure to invite Shahil and also Mrityunjay. Now Mrityunjay is a chess lover, and so what we decided is that we will look at one of Shahil's game and ask some questions to Mrityunjay to guess Shahil's moves. So it will be some kind of a training session, and together with Mrityunjay, you too can guess Shahil's move and improve your chess. Let's go. Hi, Shahil. Hi, Mrityunjay. How are you guys?
Hi, Sagar. Doing good.
Hi, I'm also good.
Shahil, you recently made a GM norm, so a huge congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And Mrityunjay, you've been supporting Shahil, so it's also a great news for you. How are you feeling about it?
Firstly, thanks for this invite, because it's a great feeling to be on the same call as Shahil. And Shahil, congrats. I mean, I've been following your tournaments, and it gives a lot of satisfaction to see what's happening. And it has given a different dimension to viewing chess. When you support someone and when you follow their career, it really makes you see tournaments and view the matches very differently.
Absolutely. And Shahil, how was your experience making the GM norm? Was it tough for you? You're already an IM, now going towards the GM title.
Yes, it was a little bit difficult for me, but I was thinking just like a single game every day and not thinking about making norms or anything else. Just playing good games and going forward.
So this happened at the Cattolica Open in Italy, right?
Yes.
And what is your live rating now, Shahil?
Yeah, it's 2402.
2402, and you have one GM norm, so you need 98 more ELO points and 2 more GM norms. Mrityunjay, Shahil did a lot of hard work on the board there. So we have taken one of his games, and something interesting we want to do with you. We're going to ask you some moves to guess from his games. Could you tell? Yeah.
I'm not sure how that will go, but sure, we'll try.
Could you tell our viewers how strong you are chess-wise?
So I've been playing a lot of chess. It's not that I don't play regularly, but because I'm always on the move, it's mostly on my phone. And a lot of times, the game gets interrupted and things like that. So my rapid, I'm talking about just my online ratings on chess.com. So my rapid rating is close to, it was at its peak, it was close to 1600. It's around 15 right now. And my blitz rating is very bad because I keep, it's a very difficult time format to play on the move. So it's around 1350, I think.
1350. Okay. Okay, so you're strong enough to figure out a few things, and also Shahil will give you the hints at the right time. So the game that we are going to look is against Eli Milikow, who was white. Shahil, he is 24-30, a GM or an IM?
Yeah, he's in FM. He's
FM.
from my age, same age.
Oh, same age as you, and you were playing black. So the game started with the Sicilian and A6 variation, the O'Kelly variation on the board, C3, D5. He took, Queen takes, and D4. So, Shahil, were you surprised with the opening, or this was all known to you?
I was not prepared on C3, so I was little bit surprised, but I knew something, so it didn't affect the game.
Okay. So this is like this C3 Alpin variation. Knight F6, Bishop E2, E6 was played, and white castled. Black played Bishop E7, trying to castle quickly. Bishop E3, and now the threat is to take here when white would win a pawn, because then the queens had to be traded and it's not easy to keep the pawn. So Shahil took, and he took with the knight here. And Shahil decided to hit him in the center. Shahil, were you not afraid that you are just making these moves? You are not developed. Your king is still in the center.
Yeah, I was not afraid because I didn't say anything very direct for him to do with my king. So, and I wanted to somehow exchange the queens, as the endgame will be little bit easier to play as compared to the middle games.
Okay. So he went knight b3 here, and black castled. So if you take the queen, he'll take with the knight, and bishop f3 was played. So Mrityunjay, here is your first question. So the entire game has has 5 questions. Okay. Right. So this is your first one. What would you play here as black? And I guess the first one is tricky, because you'll have to think, and maybe Shahil, you can give him some hint if there is any hint you have on mind.
Yeah, I have to think.
Okay, he will also think. Mrityunjay, you also think. What should black do in this position? And while they think, I think you, dear viewer who's watching, can also think about this position.
So what's confusing me a little bit is what Shahil said, that he wanted to exchange queens and get into the end game. But I'm guessing that would not be the move.
Why?
Because I don't think that he would have asked me. But I'll just see if that works.
Okay. It's very smart. So not easy to fool him there. But still,
instinctively, like if I was just playing this game on my own and if I had this position on the board, I would have gone for e4.
E4 here, you would have played this move. Okay, interesting. And Shahil, what do you think about his move?
Yeah, I was also thinking e4 during the game, but then he takes the queen. I take with the knight, bishop e4,
right,
knight e3, fe3, bishop g5.
So he's calculated like 4 or 5 moves deeper. Very nice. And
and the king f2, rook e8, and knight 1 d2. And then I saw that I'm not getting enough compensation for the pawn, and he will just develop the pieces and I will be worse.
Also f5 here continuing would run into check.
Yeah.
That's why it and the e3 pawn will then be saved. So very nice. So here Mrityunjay, good try, but you lose a pawn somehow.
Right.
Yeah, the hint could be you should move your queen somewhere.
Okay, Shahil gives a very difficult hint because
Uh, maybe not too many squares left for the queen if we don't want to exchange it.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think would e6 be working? Queen to e6.
Yeah, I thought about e6, but it looked very passive to me because I can't develop my bishop now.
Hmm.
And also some knight c5s will come sometime, or even now also to take the bishop pair.
Right, right. So here I think Shahil, Mrityunjay, did you guys not consider like taking the queen? I mean, is it not good?
Yeah, I thought in the game, but I wanted to go for more because he takes with the rook, and I didn't saw a clear path to develop my pieces. As
Ah,
means it's very easy for white to play the moves as they are very obvious.
hmm.
Means like knight d2, knight c4, yeah,
Right, right. And
and
also
also
this bishop is very strong.
yeah.
So
And if
Mrityunjay,
I play e4 anytime, then my e4 pawn will be weak at some point, and he also gets the d4 squares.
right, he also gets this square here for his knight. So Mrityunjay, your hint here is that the queen needs to find a perfect home, so
Right.
that it can settle there, and then does not come in between the pieces. Also, this bishop here is constantly attacking this pawn, so that this bishop cannot move later. So you will have to solve all of these things. By the way, guys, this is not at all easy. And I think after this training session itself, Mrityunjay will be at least 50 low points stronger. So
Definitely.
this is not an easy position to solve. Also, the game is quite tricky. I mean, it's not a straightforward game.
Yeah. So, I mean, having a look at the b7 pawn, then the option comes down to b5, queen to b5.
Hmm.
But then what happens if the bishop attacks it from e2?
Yeah, also maybe a4 to hit the queen. It's not stable square on b5.
Correct.
So the move that was played here, and very interesting, is queen c4.
Right. That was the only square left.
That was the one left. But the idea, Shahil, what was your idea of putting the queen there?
Yeah, I wanted to put my queen on c7 from where it will support b7 and it will be stable. And then I can develop my pieces as I wanted.
Okay,
Like bishop e6, knight d7.
fantastic. So slightly tricky first question, Mrityunjay, but going ahead could be easier. I'm just saying could also get tougher. Rook e1 played by Milikow, and Shahil came back to c7 as we thought. Knight d2, and now he put his bishop on e6, developing bishop to g5, and now he brought his final piece into the game, knight bd7. So black has kind of finished his development. By this point, Shahil, were you getting ambitious in the game?
Yeah, from here I was thinking that I might have slight edge because white pieces are not so well placed, I thought.
Right.
Because the pieces are looking very active, but they don't have any function in reality. So.
True, true. So queen e2 played by uh, Milikow, and here you put your rook on e8. Maybe at some point, who knows, there could be some attack on the queen there. Bishop h4 in order to put pressure this way, I guess, on the position. So now your next question, Mrityunjay. Uh, what would you play here as black? How do you think Shahil continued? How long did it take you, Shahil, to find the next move?
It took me like 7 to 8 minutes or like 10 minutes.
So Mrityunjay, even if you like, you're getting like couple of minutes only. If you can't find the answers, it's okay because he's thought for a long time, but still.
Yeah, because I was checking other options also like E4 and.
Yeah. So can I have the board back from the?
You need to pin me.
Okay, sorry.
So if you can just on the top right, there'll be 3 buttons, 3 dots. If you can pin, then I will stay constant.
Let me think. We can't. So again, this is based on the kind of partial hint that you had given before. I would, now that I'm thinking of bishop to d6.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. Actually, very close because that was the next move that Shahil played.
Right.
So you are there, but I mean, when the bishop comes here, maybe you can put it there.
Right.
He made good use of his time here.
Would it make sense to bring because the A8 rook is not doing much, so maybe bring it into the open file into D8?
Shahil, what do you think?
Yeah, this looks fine to me. But in the game, I really didn't look at it because my rook can sometimes play from A8 also. Sometimes, but it is not at all
Big
clear.
Big hint there. Rook can play from A8, so.
Then it's is it pawn to A5?
Yes, very good. That is the right move. Perfect. And Shahil, why did you go A5 here?
Yeah, I thought that his B3 knight is like a loose piece, means doesn't have a good square to go on. And then I saw that the C3 pawn will be weak if the B2 pawn is removed. So I thought of going forward.
Nice. Very nice. And can he stop you with A4?
Yeah, he can't stop, I think, because of queen B6, maybe.
And then this knight has become a little shaky. And with this pressure.
A4, yeah, A4 also, I think E4 is there.
Ooh, E4.
Yeah, because now the B3 knight is loose. So.
Wow. So if he takes here, you take here. If he takes here.
No, knight E4, I can just take on B3.
You can directly take B3. Sorry. Yeah, that should just win. And if he takes with the bishop.
Yeah, then knight E4 or first bishop B3.
Bishop B3, knight B3.
And move the bishop to D6.
Nice. And finally, this rook actually comes into use. Rook E8. Wow. Very cool. So, bishop H4, you played A5.
Yeah.
He went bishop G3. And so, Mrityunjay, actually, this was my next question to you here, but you already guessed it, right? Because it is not easy to think. I mean, after you play A5, the next idea always is to play A4.
Yeah, had you asked me in that order, I probably wouldn't have got it.
But now the question is, after A4, why didn't Shahil play this move? A4 here. What is White's strong move here?
The E5 pawn would be hanging, right? After moving the knight.
But where? Where to move this? So what would White play? Because if bishop E5, then I take with my knight, queen takes, rook takes, and in the end AB3 and black is a piece up.
I mean, first the knight would have to move to.
So the hint is make use of the pin.
Right. We attack. Right. So we go to knight to D4.
Fantastic. Nice move. Is that right, Shahil?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, and the bishop is kind of trapped here, and so you
Yeah.
lose a very key bishop. Yeah.
Yes, and I can't play bishop d6 because knight b5 is coming.
Knight b5 and hits both these pieces. So
Yeah.
prophylactic move first, bishop d6. Now he played queen to b5, a4, pushing the knight away. The knight had to go back, and Shahil moved forward. So you can see how he created a lot of play with his a pawn. Knight d3, bishop f5 was played, and now knight e4. And here's a small question, although this might not be the only move, which is the best one in the position, Mrityunjay, but can you find a little weird idea here that Shahil executed to bring his only piece not in the game into the game?
Would it be rook a5?
Shahil, I think Mrityunjay is doing well, yeah? Slowly he's getting into the groove.
Yes.
The hints are helping.
But rook a5, Shahil, was this a strong move? Did you not think of anything else?
Yeah, it hurt. I think I played, yeah, rook a5 only I played.
Yeah, you rook
I
a.
thought about knight takes e4 first,
Yes.
bishop e4, then rook a5.
Then
But-
here.
Yeah, I also thought that, it will be like same only after queen b3, like the game.
Okay, you thought it would be similar to the game. So you first
Yeah.
went rook a5, he went queen b3.
Yeah.
Now you took. It's a very complicated position with all the pieces on the board, but finally some exchanges. Takes.
Yes.
And now, Mrityunjay Shahil played a very nice move. I liked this next move. What should black do here? Because he's able to somehow play a move that wins material now, slowly. I mean, not on this move, but
Would it be to attack the queen with the bishop to e6 and then push pawn to f5?
so what is your what do you do, Mrityunjay?
I'm based out of the tea gardens.
Do you think like you can reconsider playing chess a bit more? Because seriously, this is what he did. Bishop e6. Shahil, this was not easy, yeah. And next move
Yeah.
f5, and this is game over. Because bishop f3, and now Mrityunjay?
Now we just win material with e4.
Absolutely right. Amazing. Shahil, this was really nice play by you. Did he have any chance at any point to save material, or this was all forced?
These are all fours, I think.
Hmm.
Maybe after a3 he could have played b takes a3, but it's like some.
That was like four
it's
moves
like
ago.
some engine move.
Right, spoiling the structure here, but at least making space for the queen perhaps to go back.
Yeah.
But bishop e6, queen d1, f5, bishop f3, and e4. He won a piece. Let's just look at till the end of the game. Queen d6, knight to b4, and Shahil was brutal here. But I'll ask you, what would you play here? It's the toughest thing is to win a one game, yeah. So now you are
Just no.
not so simple, no. Here, Shahil, was it easy for you to find the next move?
Yeah, it was quite simple.
1 sec. No, I was looking if we take on b2 and somehow there's a way to queen.
By giving up your queen, huh?
But that doesn't work.
Yeah, that would be a bit too much right now.
Yeah. No, since you said brutal way, I was thinking of an absolutely
Well,
brutal way.
not a good hint by me, but this next move was something which I think people starting out in the game never think about that. I think the first move that crosses mind is always forcing moves like take here or do something. But he played a very quiet, nice little move.
Just moving the queen to b6 or something.
Yeah, similar. He just played it to c7.
C7.
Was it better here, Shahil, to play queen c7 and not to b6?
Yeah, it's a little bit better because I support my d7 knight so that my bishop can leave some time. And also the queen feels more safer on c7. So it's little bit better, I think.
And also after ab2, the c3 pawn could hang.
Yeah.
So here, wasn't this also winning for you, Shahil? Like take and ab2?
Yeah, maybe it was winning, but I thought that he plays rook b1 and I should work more harder to convert my pawn advantage. So,
yeah.
And he might have very good chances some point to make a draw.
Correct. Right. So queen c7 was correct. He went here. You pushed the bishop away. He went back. Now you took rook b1 and you got, so now you are 2 pawns up and clearly in control of the game. Queen d6 was played and he played rook c5. And now Mrityunjay, here's your chance. Okay, he played a3 to do better than what Shahil did in the game. Shahil missed this move, and can you find it? That would be really nice. Black to play.
Right.
Okay, what Shahil played was also winning, but he missed it.
Means I saw the move, but I thought just take the.
Okay. No hints.
Yeah.
Let's see if here. So everything is well set. You have a pawn on the 7th rank, and this time I think brutal move sounds like a good idea.
Is it bishop to a2 and dislodging the knight and moving your rook to d5 and somehow trapping the queen?
But the bishop is gone, so your rook will also be free.
Oh yeah, shit, sorry.
So then you might just lose all the material.
No, sorry. Would it just taking the a3 pawn?
That you can be proud of yourself because that's the move Shahil played.
Right.
Queen a3 here. So not bad, but
oh, okay. Queen to c1.
Something more forcing. Similar but forcing. More forcing.
Okay, queen takes on e1.
Yeah. Take here, and
rook to c1.
Shahil, you had seen this, yeah?
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking queen d2 here.
Queen. Oh.
Queen d2 and it's looks like a pretty much winning with like rook e8 or something like.
Yeah. Rook or can we take and just play rook c8 with the idea of rook c1? I think that should be game over.
Yeah, this is also good, I think. But something like 93 or something.
You're
Okay,
tricky.
I
Yeah,
can just take and rook
yeah.
c1.
Take and rook
Yeah.
c1. And that
I
wins.
just wanted to go for simple things.
Yeah, but this was very nice move. But the way you did it was also very smooth. You came back, then you brought your knight in, and eventually everything got traded. And black is 3 pawns up actually. So you liquidated into a winning endgame, and the finish happened like this: rook b8, rook behind the pawn, king came up, and finally. Okay, he allowed you, I mean, Queen and Shahil won. So, great game. Mrityunjay, did you like the game?
Yeah, it was way more complicated than, it was a very nicely constructed game, definitely.
And did you learn a few things like, it was...
Yeah, here I can give one more quiz to him.
Okay.
Yeah, can you find some traps for black to make a stalemate?
For white, you mean?
Yeah,
White to play.
yeah, white.
Oh, nice, nice. So your opponent played that move in the game.
Yeah, he played and he smiled at me and he resigned.
One sec. Because the king has square. Okay.
So it's not a forcing move, but it's just a trap. And if the opponent, I mean, Shahil would not fall for it, of course, but...
Because if the king moves to g2, I mean, the h2 square is still available.
Right,
after the king
right.
takes.
So he's thinking in the right direction about stalemate.
Yeah.
Because taking on queen doesn't make sense because the entire second rank is available.
Right.
Which other piece can move? Oh, I think I got it. Rook to g1.
Yeah.
Very nice. And although it's not forced to take, so Shahil can just move the queen away. But if he had taken, this is a pretty stalemate. Then there's no GM norm.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Brilliant. At this point, Rook G1 and he resigned. So Shahil, what's next for you? What will you play for the next two norms?
Yeah, I'm planning to play in 2 open tournaments in Serbia from 28, the Serbian Open Masters and Parachin.
Okay.
And then I should come back home because I have to study for my exams.
Right,
So,
right. You are in what?
In 10th.
10th. Oh, you're in 10th grade. So you
Yeah.
have to manage both. Mrityunjay, you are a sports fan. You love many sports.
Yeah.
And how did you decide, like, in order to support Shahil, you're not only supporting Shahil, but you're also supporting Mayank. So two strong players from Northeast India, and you were supporting Shahil with 5 lakh rupees, also with to Mayank with 2.5. So that's really huge amounts. And what's your vision behind it?
So, like you correctly said, I've been very passionate about sports growing up, and since the longest time, I wanted to work in sports development, like something that would enable. I was always surprised, as to how India, being the country, the size of the country that it is, and the kind of talent that the country has, we would still end up having 2 or 3 Olympic medals at each Olympics. So my vision kind of started with that factor in mind, that why can't this country have more Olympic medals and people striving further in sports. Then when I started working in Assam, I kind of realized that there's an abundance of talent in this region. However, people don't get the exposure and they don't get the right support at the right time. And that's what kind of hinders their growth. So for the longest time, I've been wanting to work with sportsmen, people who are passionate about the game, whichever sport they may be playing, and who have reached a point where, from a point where if they get the correct support, they can move to the next level. And a lot of times in India, what happens is a sportsman or his family really has to make a decision as to whether we should pursue with the sports career, or take a step back and start thinking about getting a job, looking after the family and things like that. And that's what hinders a lot of growth, and it stops people from going to the next level. So my entire vision was that if there is a talented person who is at that stage, then if I am capable of helping to whatever extent, then I would want to kind of do my bit to kind of ensure that at least for that small period, the family or the sportsman can look at sports in isolation and doesn't have to think about the other aspect of should I have to give up sports to look after my career and things like that. So that was the vision. And I mean, getting connected to ChessBase India was obviously a huge factor, because it kind of gives confidence. And I'm being very frank and honest here. It's like your energy and your passion really translates onto people. So it really helped in making and like giving that final decision that yes, this is the right avenue, and I wanted to work with Northeast sports, and the time seemed right to propel chess. And I mean, this is just a small drop in the ocean. The aim is to do a lot more, and
your vision is much bigger than this.
Yeah, I mean, the aim is to kind of have a sports school here, to work with the talented sportsmen from the region, to get them the resources from outside, get them the exposure, and really inculcate that drive for sports, because there's a lot of talent who don't get the exposure. And my aim is to really push Northeastern sports to a much larger level. So this is just the start, and it's people like Shahil who, through their work and through their achievements, will inspire a lot of other sportsmen to from the region to take up the sport at a higher level. So I'm really happy that this has started and this is taking place, because it takes one person to inspire a village.
That's a very, very nice thought. Shahil, of course, all the planning majorly is done by your parents, but do you feel like this support, it gives you much more courage and energy to pursue your aims in chess?
Yeah, this support helped me a lot, and it is helping me to do a lot of hard work to perform well, and to make the supporter happy. Yeah.
Fantastic. So in return, Shahil, whenever you make a GM norm, we will do a video like this till you become a GM, and then so it will be like a few. You will help Mrityunjay also to improve his chess.
Yeah.
Next time I'll be practicing more, and I'll be stronger by the time I come back.
So by making GM norms, Mrityunjay would be happy, and by guessing your moves, Shahil will get happy. So that's how both of you would continue working. But Mrityunjay, a huge thank you to you for supporting chess, and Shahil, keep up the great work. You've been a kind of a path breaker. You're the first title player from Northeast India, and I think very soon you will also be the first GM from there. So best wishes to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Sahil, once again, and I'm sure the day is not very far away.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm trying hard.